What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I'm here tonight with a review for this is Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 12, episode 1. It's titled The More the Merrier. So, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into the episode. Now, I will say it's an interesting episode to see Kenya. We know Kenya's back. And it was just interesting to see Kenya in this episode and no Nene in this episode. But I think this goes back to what happened last season with Closetgate. The fact that Nene, she attacked the production staff. So she was on suspension. So I read somewhere that Nene is not in the first 3 episodes. So I'm like, ooh, I know Nene got to be pissed. And tonight, Kenya was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy. You guys know, typically on Atlanta premiere night, Nene is in the clubhouse. But this year, she's not in the clubhouse. So we see Kenya, like I said, Kenya is back. She's back with her beautiful daughter, Brooklyn, who is so gorgeous. And today was actually, yesterday, because I'm filming this at midnight. But, yesterday was her birthday, her first birthday. Kenya goes down memory lane of her, past relationships. Walter, the rent-a-man, crazy Matt. And then she also lets us know that, she and Mark are living in different, Mark is still in New York. She's out there in Atlanta. And, Mark is, he has his businesses in New York. So I guess he's kind of between New York and Atlanta. And we all do know that right now, Kenya and Mark are going through a separation. Now, Kenya is hopeful that, they can work out their marriage. She says they're very co-parenting. They're co-parenting to be the best parents for Brooklyn. So, when it comes to Kenya and Mark, I do wish the best for them. But I just have a lot of questions about this marriage. I'm not going to sit here and say that I believe it's fake. It's kind of weird to me. I mean, it's just a little weird. I know they got married out of the country. But where's their marriage license at? Is it in Atlanta? Is it in Fulton County? Or is it in New York? That's the question that I have. Where's their marriage license? And I'm not significantly worried about it, but it's just a question. But I do wish the best for Kenya and for Mark because, like I said, they had this beautiful baby girl. So definitely wish the best for them. I hope that they can either co-parent with one another or work out their marriage. So we also do see that Kenya had a Barbie theme party so that all the girls can meet Brooklyn. So she had Porsha there, and the girls would bring their kids. So she had Porsha there with baby PJ, who is so beautiful. She had Cynthia there. She had Candy coming with Ace. She had Eva there. Eva didn't bring her kids. And she had Shamia was there with her daughter. So yeah, it's a good look, and it's actually really good to see that Kenya is getting along with Porsha and Shamia, 2 people that we know she's had an issue with in the past. Like, we remember the first time we met Shamia, Kenya got into it with her, and we remember all the incidents with Porsha and Kenya. So it's really refreshing to see them all getting along. Like, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not ready for the Moose to show up at all. I'm just not ready to see Nene. And speaking of, let's talk about Nene real quick before we even just get into this whole party. Let's talk about Nene. So, like I said, Kenya was on Watch What Happens Live tonight with Andy, and someone called in and asked Kenya, does she think that over this course of the season, do they think that she'll her and Nene will be in a good space? And she said, and then they asked her, does Marlo deserve a peach? I can answer that question for you. No, Marlo does not deserve a peach. What kind of storyline will Marlo give? Marlo is not really willing to let us see her real life. So Marlo does not deserve a peach. But with Nene, Kenya said that no, she has no intentions of being friends with Nene. And because she said, it's been all in the blogs about what happened at the finale party, which was Candy's baby shower. And Nene tried to spit at Kenya. And Kenya confirmed that on Watch What Happens Live that Nene tried to spit at her. And I think that's a low, forgive me for saying this, but it takes a low type of bitch to spit at somebody. Like, that is the most vile, disgusting shit you can do to anybody. Like, pull my hair. I don't have any hair. Pull my hair, scratch me, punch me, do whatever the hell you got to do to me. But what you will not do is spit at me, because if you spit at me, the gloves are off and I'm going to haul off and beat your ass. Kind of like what happened, kind of like the rumors that are happening in Potomac right now. How they said that Candace threw a drink at Monique, and Monique, got in that ass. Which I am so ready for season 5 of Potomac, but that's not why we're here. But yeah, back to this. So like I said, all the girls had their kids up with the exception of Eva. Now Eva came up with some bullshit ass excuse about she doesn't know how things are gonna happen at the party. I'm like, this is a child's party. Do you really believe that? I mean, do you really expect for them to go off and haul off and throw weaves and throw drinks at each other? No, it's a kids' party, and everybody at the party is cool with each other. The one common denominator is not there. Nene and Marlo are not there, so the party should be all good to go. And then Cynthia was co-signing, and I'm like, wait a minute, Cynthia, why are you co-signing this? It doesn't make sense. I'm glad Porsha said it. It doesn't make sense, but whatever. But now when it comes, so we also saw Kenya and Porsha. So Porsha went off and had a conversation with Kenya. It's so, like I said, it's refreshing to see those two getting along with one another. They're bonding over having daughters, and it's. I think I'm gonna enjoy this season because me personally, I've always been a Porsha fan. I love Porsha, and I was always on Porsha's side. When it came to Porsha and Kenya, I was always on Porsha's side, especially at that reunion when Porsha pulled her hair. I know a lot of people tweeted me back then when I said I was on Porsha's side, like if it was me, Porsha pulled her hair, and I said that Kenya was lucky because if it were me, if I was a woman and I was on the couch with Porsha and she had that bullhorn in my face, you're a dumb hoe. I would have grabbed that bullhorn and I would have beat the fuck out of her ass, like literally beat the brakes off of Kenya. But Porsha didn't do that. She just pulled her hair. But like I said, it's just good to see those two interacting with one another. And then, Porsha told Kenya about the Eva situation. And so Kenya, I guess in good faith, decided to tell her what happened with Candy, Cynthia, and Eva with this girl named Sincerely, which we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. And then, Kenya goes to get the girls, and they come back and talk to Porsha, and they tell Porsha what happened. And Porsha's like, it wasn't her in the rumors, but, I guess it's okay. And I'm like, thank God. I'm like, please. Like, I wasn't, like, I didn't watch the show live tonight, but I saw the tweets, and I'm like, oh, my God. Like, Candy. Wrong road, girl. Wrong road. Let's move on, you guys, because I've been talking about Candy for 7 minutes now. All right, so next we're gonna talk about Porsha. So we see Porsha with her beautiful little girl, PJ, Pilar Janae. So the thing is, and they're showing it. Tasha K. I've never really followed her on YouTube. I know she has, I know she does, talk about celebrity gossip, but sometimes I think, from what I've heard, she can be a little bit too much. But I might check Tasha K out. I don't know. So, they're discussing what happened with Dennis. Now, Porsha let it be known that she hasn't told Mama Diane or Lauren what the real deal is between she and Dennis. That actually Dennis cheated on her when she was pregnant with PJ. So that is why they're not there. That is why they're not together at this point. So then we also do see later in the episode that Mama Diane was at the crib with her storm wig on, looking good. And, she was fixing Porsha some food. And then Lauren comes over. So then I'm assuming at this point Porsha might have told them what happened between she and Dennis, because they were, she was crying, and then Mama Diane and Lauren started to cry. And I do really feel bad for Porsha, because we saw that special, how she was. I think for Porsha, I feel like she fell head over heels for Dennis. And people can say that Porsha's a gold digger, but I don't see it. Like, I'm pretty sure I know Dennis has money, but Porsha got money as well. Like, she has these Real Housewives of Atlanta checks, and those checks are nothing to sneeze at. And then she has her Dish Nation checks. So Porsha is doing pretty well in the money department. But she's also talking, they're talking about when she's going to go back to work. She's postponed it, going back to work, which I remember when she went back to work, because I actually, like I said before, you guys, I do follow Porsha on social media. Actually, I think Porsha's like the only housewife of Atlanta that I follow. Actually, she is. Well, she's the only housewife of Atlanta that I follow on Instagram. I, I'm subscribed to Candy Online on YouTube. I couldn't watch Nene's fucking shit. I just could not watch it because I felt like that big bully was lying about all the shit that happened last season. But Porsha also, she was talking about how Mama Diane comes over and she tries to get dressed to go out, but she's like, if she goes out, cool, she'll forget about everything for a few minutes. But when she comes back home, she remembers everything. And I really, like I said, I do feel bad for Porsha. And I mean, right now we all know what the real deal is. Porsha and Dennis are back together, so throughout the season we'll see them get back together. But for right now, they're broken up, and we're gonna move on, you guys. All right, so let's move over to Candy. So we see Candy. She is at home with Ace and Todd. So this has been in the blogs, and we haven't discussed it on my channel, but I know Roxanne has discussed it, Ashley has discussed it, and I believe Bondi has discussed it. But Candy and Todd are expecting their baby via surrogate. Now I didn't know the surrogate that they use, but we find out that the surrogate that they're using, her name is Shadina. So Shadina is the one that actually Dr. Jackie introduced her to last season. And Candy also let it be known that they did try to have twins, but one of the babies didn't take, so they only have the one. And I'm like, oh, I really did feel bad. I'm like, that is really sad. But, like Candy said, she lost the one, but she does still have another baby. And it was so cute. When she FaceTimed Shadina, Ace is like, so do you have my sister? She says, yes, I do have your sister. I'm babysitting her. I'm like, oh, that is so cute. Like, and I can't imagine what Candy feels, because she's like, it's kind of odd for her because she's not carrying a baby. It's not like, look at my baby bump. Oh, my breasts are filling up with milk. She doesn't have those feelings. But technically you don't have those feelings, but you're still experiencing it, because you can have your surrogate and you can be like, oh, look at my baby, look at my baby bump. Now about the breast milk, you can't say that, but that is still your baby, and that is your baby bump, although it's not physically on your body, it's still yours. So then we also later saw Eva and Cynthia and Candy at OLG. So, Eva is just basically ordering up the whole fucking menu. And that is going to be a place that I put on my list to go do when I go to Atlanta next time. So they're talking about the whole, Candy's talking about the process. And Eva's like, girl, that is still your baby. So then, this girl named Sincerely, she sent a drink over there to Candy and Candy them's table. And then the girl comes over there to their table to talk to them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then she says to them that she is supposed to be the girl that Dennis had an affair with. But she really didn't have an affair with him. She never even met Dennis. And I'm like, so where'd this come from? She's like, I think it came from a bitter ex of his. And I'm like, so have you talked to Porsha? She says, oh, no, I haven't talked to Porsha because I felt like that would be too weird. And I'm like, so talking to Porsha would be too weird. But here you are on camera, mic'd up. You signed a disclosure to be on, for them to use your likeness on television. And you're talking to not one, not two, but three of her cast members. But it would be weird to tell Porsha this. Okay, if you say so. Like, this, I don't know how much leeway Candy has with production, but this just, production, somebody has set this up. Somebody said, like I said, somebody set this up, production or Candy, but somebody for sure set this shit up. And I'm not going to say Candy set it up. I'm going to say it was, the producers who set this shit up, because like I said, Homegirl got a mic on. Homegirl had to sign the disclosure to be filmed. Now, I know at OLG, when they're filming, like, even because here in Dallas, when the Real Housewives of Dallas be filming, they'll put whatever restaurant, because they film at some big name restaurants around here in Dallas, because they've been to one that I frequent for brunch on Sunday, and they'll put the sign up saying, we're filming, and there is a possibility that you might be on television. But And if you choose not to sign that NDA, that well, not NDA, but if you choose not to sign that disclosure where they can use your likeness, they'll blur you out. But if you sign it, they'll show your face. So Shadina signed that shit, and they had, like I said, they have a sign out there telling that we're filming this damn show. So, but that was weird. But okay, moving on, you guys. All right, so let's move over to Eva. Now, Eva didn't really have a lot in this episode, but Eva is pregnant. We all know that. She's already had the baby. What else? She meets up with her husband. What is his name? Mike. And, she's 3 months away from delivery. And then, she still has 2 months to find a house. And I'm like, wait a minute. So Eva is still looking for a house? Speaking of which, Kevin McCall. So I think Kevin McCall's trying to take her to court to get custody, some kind of custody of Marley Ray. Wow. Ooh. That's interesting. And I think she said that he's doing it to try to find out where she lives at. Okay. We're not going to dig into that. So, Mike was asking, Eva, so how much longer are you going to be at Destination? She was like, I don't really know because Porsha was supposed to have been back by now. But, she's postponed it. And, I'm guessing, I don't know. I wonder if part of Porsha was like, all the stuff that's in the blogs, she didn't want to go back to work. Or if, she just wanted to have a little bit more time with her baby. Whatever. But Eva's good. You know what? I didn't even watch the Destination when Eva was on there. I actually don't even watch it. And it comes on here. It comes on one of our local stations here in Dallas. I don't ever watch unless I'm in the gym. But moving on. And then Cynthia. But I love Cynthia, so I'm not gonna even do that. I'm ready for my girl Roxanne to call Mike Hill #chill. Love it. But Cynthia and Mike. So, Mike is in Atlanta with Cynthia for now. And, Cynthia, which I did see on Cynthia's Instagram when she was posting all these wedding photos, all these wedding dresses. And I'm like, wait a minute. So are they engaged? Huh. No, they're not engaged. Cynthia has jumped the broom. Cynthia's telling Mike what kind of rings she wants, looking at venues, looking at rings. I'm like, why? Dresses. And I'm just like, wow, Cynthia. You lucky this man loves you because you're coming off mad freaking thirsty, but you're lucky he loves you. And, so now they have to figure out what to do with their lives. Because, Mike's business in sportscasting is in LA. Cynthia's life is in Atlanta. This show, her singing room, well, her wine cellar, all of that. Her Bailey agency, is that still open, y'all? No shade to Cynthia, but is the Bailey agency still open? All of her life is centered in Atlanta. So they just have to figure out a mix of what to do. And then, he was like, he asked her to take her wig off, and she took that wig off, and there you go, baby. Had that wig. So then we do see Cynthia. She's at the Bailey Wine Cellar. So I think she has Mal running the Bailey Wine Center. And then Kenya shows up with Brooklyn, and which I have already talked about this debate, the party that she had. But the party was Barbie themed, so all the girls could meet Brooklyn. So then Kenya made a very valid point because Cynthia was talking about the last time that they were at a party together. It was the one where Nene blew up last season. And Kenya was like, but that's so contradictory because, I had an issue with Nene inviting my ex, Walter, to her wedding. And Nene told her she can invite whoever she wants to her party. She don't have to, go through Kenya for that. I'm like, I had completely actually forgot about that. And I'm glad Kenya mentioned that and brought that up because that is a contradiction. So it was okay for you to invite Walter to your wedding, but it wasn't okay for Cynthia to invite Kenya to her that Seagram's party. Like, that was big and major for her. Just like your wedding was big and major for you, and you didn't even know Walter. You didn't know Walter that well to invite him to your wedding. Now, Cynthia, on the other hand, is good friends with Kenya. So Nene is a big contradiction. And then they talked about Porsha and Dennis, and they both say that they hope that Porsha with the whole Dennis situation. She just figures out what's best for she and Dennis, and they can work it out. And Kenya told Cynthia, like, girl, you been a little bit thirsty when it comes to this whole wedding. Let Mike propose to you. Don't push it. Let it happen organically, naturally. Stop. But you guys, that was Real Housewives of Atlanta. Good episode, good opening. This is going to be a drama-filled season, and I'm looking forward to it. So be sure to like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button, and also share the video, and I will see you guys for Married to Medicine. Peace.